Hello horror fans on YouTube. Last year I did a review of the excellent psychological horror film The Stepfather. And since I'm currently working on a top 10 list for 1989, I felt it would be as good of a time as any to check out its first sequel, simply called Stepfather 2. Or the more creepy/sleazy videotape title, Stepfather 2 Make Room for Daddy.
Terry O'Quinn and Meg Foster.
There's something that you should know about my past.
Stepfather 2. Daddy is back.
In this, we welcome back Terry O'Quinn as Jerry Blake, or whatever name he feels like going by this time, as he plays the maniac with different identities who seem to have a fascination of creating the perfect family. If he doesn't get what he wants, then he ends it by murdering them off and starts all over again. Since the last time we saw him, he has spent his days at a mental institution. Of course he can't keep a good family man locked down forever, so he quickly finds a way to escape into freedom. While in hiding, he finds a new woman who has been recently left by her husband. He does what he does best by making sure to inject himself into her life and treat her kid like he was his own son. But as you can probably guess, things do not end well for anyone involved in Stepfather 2.
Room for Daddy, huh? Daddy's here, huh? Every time I do something, go Daddy!
Some might argue that most sequels are unnecessary, and a sequel to The Stepfather surely must be a letdown from the first one, right? Well, that depends on what your expectation was before heading into this. I didn't expect all that much, to be honest, and I kinda got what I expected. The movie is basically just a rehash of the first one, not that anyone would be surprised by that. The difference between the films are basically the care when it comes to the story. While the first one stood out and was quite unique, there is little creativity to be found in the second one, making it feel a bit uninspired or even lazy. There is also no investigation angle, even if he escapes from the mental hospital by killing 2 people on his way out of there. It feels like there should be more paranoia for the stepfather about potentially getting caught, but no, none of that is to be found here. There is no new sides being explored in our main character, and the new one introduced are pretty generic as well. There is more of a focus to treat it like a slasher film, with plenty of kill scenes and stuff like that. In fact, the studio executives Harvey and Bob Weinstein demanded more blood and guts in reshoots, to much dismay of both director Jeff Burr and star Terry O'Quinn, both refusing to participate in these reshoots. To be fair, these scenes will make the film more enjoyable for fans of slasher films though.
Who do you think you are? Huh? You're nobody! I want you!
Speaking of O'Quinn, I was first surprised to see him return to this role, as it was obviously going to be a step down from the first. This was only supposed to go direct to video, and although it did end up getting a limited theatrical release as well, it still seems like a project that would be beneath his talents. But on the other side, it is nice to see someone not leave a great character like this behind him and still feel ownership of it, even if the money people might not see the same value. Although he doesn't get to portray the same complexity in this as in the first one, it is still fun to see O'Quinn on the screen. Meg Foster with the distinctive blue eyes plays O'Quinn's new target Carol. She's okay here, but she gives a bit of a soap opera TV performance, and I've seen her better in other stuff. Her child is played by Jonathan Brandis, who a year later would play a big part in Stephen King's miniseries It. I'm always happy to see child actors that doesn't hold the movie back, and I'm happy to say that he did a good job. The surprise standout for me though was Caroline Williams as Meg Foster's friend Mattie. She was great, and I wish she had been given a bigger part in the film. The director behind Stepfather 2 is Jeff Burr, a filmmaker that would go on to do sequels for other franchises as well after this. He did the third Texas Chainsaw film Leatherface only a year after this one, he did Pumpkinhead 2, and he also did the 4th and 5th entry to the Puppet Master series for Full Moon. He had to work with a screenplay by John Averbach, who had never gotten a script made into a film before or after this one. I wish they had been allowed to flesh it out more and given it a longer running time than 83 minutes. I say allowed, as I'm sure the decision was made on the producers, as they clearly looked at this as a cheap and easy cash grab. The film is also lacking in visual flair, and just looks cheap when you compare it to the first film, which is not all that fair towards the filmmakers who had less money to deal with on this, but it does count towards my experience as a viewer.
I just wanted to take care of you.
Stepfather 2 is for the big fans of the first one who just wants more of it and is willing to accept the drop in quality. It works as a fun sequel that you don't have to take seriously, and Terry O'Quinn is still lovely to watch. Even if he can't hold a candle to the first film, Stepfather 2 still has enough of fun horror elements to make a person like me entertained. Stepfather 2 gets a 3 out of 5. Have you seen Stepfather 2? What are your thoughts on it? I know they made a third one as well without Terry O'Quinn returning. Have you seen that, and is it worth the time? I'm not all that keen on seeing a Stepfather film without O'Quinn, unless someone convinces me otherwise. As mentioned in the intro to the video, I do have a review up for the first Stepfather as well. If you for some reason have not seen that film, but still checked out this video, then make sure you check out the praise I have for the first one as well, as that is a really good film. Hope you enjoyed this review of Stepfather 2, and that you'll have a nice evening wherever in the world you are. And as always, thank you for watching Cinema Terror.